Welcome to the channel. We're here at the legendary Guinivere summoning session, or should I say Femortis and Asker summoning session. That's right, our goal tonight is to get 2 copies of Femortis and Asker so we can finally finish them off at plus 10. Let's go ahead and jump in, and we're going to mostly be focusing colorless. We'll probably pick up some reds just because it is very good value, but probably after the spark at the least we'll stop doing reds completely and just snipe colorless depending on how it's going. Okay, there's a lot to talk about tonight. We've had, Guinevere herself, but we've also just not had a summoning session in such a long time, so I got plenty of questions to answer. I've actually done not too bad at saving orbs. I think like out of these 500, like 250 or 300 are free to play, which is pretty good for me. I know for a lot of the people that's kind of a joke, but gotta set your own goals. Anyway, so let's talk about Guinevere a bit, because I think her reception has been a bit mixed. Even my own reception of her isn't, I don't know. I'm not angry or mad that she's in. I think it's fine. She deserves a legendary, sure. A little bit, I didn't really expect it, to be honest, but I'm completely fine with that. But her role as a unit is definitely a bit weird. She wants to be a mage tank, I think. That's the one thing she wants to do. She can nuke because she has that true damage based off resistance, but she doesn't have anything else the nuke would want, right? She doesn't have anti-guard, or she doesn't have offensive no follow-up or something like that, right? She can definitely nuke. She's more like a defensive nuke, like Duo Asker would be, or even Arvel to an extent, which is interesting. But I think realistically what they want you to do is use her as a mage tank. The problem is that when we look at her stat line, it's a bit iffy to say the least. So her stat line is 37 HP, which is pretty low. You typically have 40 at the lowest. The 37 is pretty low, especially for a tank. We have 39 attack with a super boon. We have 45 speed. We have 16 defense. 16. That is extremely low. And then 40 resistance. So the thing is with Guinevere, right, is that she wants to be a mage tank, but when you're performing that role of a mage tank, you're also going to have to tank daggers and bows. And so having 16 defense is pretty rough. Even when you consider that she does get an additional 10 defense from her weapon and her preference C skill, it's still not great. 26 is the defense levels we were looking at Gen 1, right? Now obviously she has flat damage reduction based off of resistance, which definitely makes her more sturdy. But I am still a bit scared. I don't think it's a good enough defense stat for her to really fulfill that Omni Tank role, even with an improved close counter. So I think mainly what you're going to use her for is either a nuke on Aetherite's defense with a Catria or something like that, or possibly a mage tank alongside a near save. But either way, I'm not very high on this unit at the moment. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe she'll be absolutely just meta breaking, but I kind of doubt it. My current prediction is that she'll be very good during her bonus season because she does get that extra 4 defense and resistance and 10 HP, which is a big deal. It pretty much fixes all of her problems, or her stat problems at least. So I think she'll be very good during her bonus season, and I think she'll be very good in Arena. But I'm a bit iffy on some of the other game modes. Yeah, so definitely I want 1 copy of her just so that I can, have an easy Arena month. But other than that, I really just want Femortis and Asker, and that's pretty much it. I don't know if I should keep doing all these reds. I feel like I'm getting more reds than anything else. But yeah, so that's kind of currently where I'm at right now. Been quite a while since I've done a summoning session. It's kind of weird to be jumping in like this. Anyway, let's do some questions because we got a ton to go through, and there's all kinds of topics to talk about, honestly. So let's start off with this one from CheesyXS4BI. Who do you think is going to be on the summer banner, and who do you think next year is going to be an engaged sweep for CYL? Okay, so we got our first summer banner, and I think it's a cool banner, but I don't know. I wasn't super blown away by it, right? Especially compared to last year's summer banner. Last year we had the full 3 houses summer banner, and they were all amazing. And then we also had Micaiah, right? So, and then the second summer banner had Duo Thor, which really was a standout. With this first summer banner, I think the units are good, but I just don't feel like they're ridiculous. I don't feel like they're I don't know. I feel like they don't seem very unique, I guess. They just seem really good at what they already do. But so when it comes to the second banner, second summer banner, I'm interested to see what they do. I'm really just hoping it's engaged. Like, I don't even care who's on it. Just give me engaged already. It's been so many months. There's Kakura. Give me engaged, please. Like, IS, this is so, it's so rough to like not have gotten engaged this long. I'm not even like I like engaged. I think it's a fun game. I just want to see some representation. Like, I just don't understand what they're doing. Like, it just, at this point, it just confuses me. I just want to see them like just put a character in the game already. But yeah, I imagine it's gonna be engaged. But we also have had like the kind of like the pattern of getting OCs, right? Getting OCs on one of the summer banners. So it's possible we get that as well. Like, maybe we get Summer Alphonse. I don't know, but that could definitely be possible as well. Okay, speaking of engaged characters, but when it comes to Choose Your Legends next year, I think it's just gotta be a sweep for engaged, especially with as little representation as we've gotten for the game. I think everyone's gonna be just like trying to get their favorite character in the game at this point, right? So I could definitely see engaged just winning CYL 100%. Maybe if they drop like an engaged banner like the week before CYL, maybe it will hurt the chances a little bit. But even then, I still think, you know, Yunaka, Ivy, Alir, Diamant, like all have a really good chance of just winning CYL. I don't think they have much competition at this point, unless they like announce and release Genealogy of the Holy War remake like before CYL. I just don't see anything really contesting them very much. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know if I want to keep doing reds at this point. Like, my pity is actually so high. I was hoping my luck would be kind of good here because my Honkai Star Rail luck was not very good at all. It was pretty bad. So I was kind of hoping that it would all get sent to Faye and we could just pick up our Mortises. There's a Brave Lynn. I already have her at plus 10, so I'm not really sure what I'll do with her, to be honest. Doesn't really. I think she has like Swift Sparrow too, so like not exactly amazing fodder. Almost at 10%. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see if we can get some more questions in here and see if they can bring some luck. This one's gonna be from Satachi, fellow FateTuber and a friend. Good luck on your summons. Thank you. If the very first Choose Your Legends came out, yes. Okay. It's not Asker for Mortis, but I'm very happy to get one copy of Guinevere. This means I don't have to like spark her or anything like that, which means I can spark somebody else. So I'm very. That's great. I'll take that. Minus resistance is not bueno, but that's fine. We'll take it. She also has good fodder though. I guess if I did get extra copies, I don't know. Like, I would never really recommend foddering off legendaries, but Null Seed Disrupt 4 looks really good. I kind of want to put it on Fallen Byleth. Okay, let's look at this. Anyway, if the very first Choose Your Legends come out today, do you still think the top 2 characters for each division would be Lucina, Lynn, Roy, and Ike? If not, who do you think the 4 characters would be? So, I actually don't think that would be the case, right? Like, the Fire Emblem community and is just so different than it was back then in 2017. I don't think we would get the same results. I do think we get some similar things. I do think Ike might still like win either first or second place for the males, and then Lynn I could also see winning first or second place for the females because she's just so popular. But when it comes to the other two, I don't think Lucina and Roy would make the cut for sure. I think that it would definitely be Elgar and Dimitri, like 100%. Even with Engage being out now, I just don't think Engage is nearly as popular as Three Houses is, or was, right? Like, Elgar and Dimitri are like really big fan favorites. And so I just couldn't see them not winning Choose Your Legends if, like, you know, if it was completely reset. So that's who I'd go with. Probably like, yeah, Ike, Dimitri, Lynn, and Edelgard, I think. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think that's what it would be. It'd be kind of funny if somebody else won, though. Like, if Yunaka won over Edelgard or Lynn, that'd be pretty funny. But I don't see that happening. The Three Houses character is just really popular. Okay, let's keep the questions going. This one's going to be from Marcos Malaris. Would you pay for a Fey Pass that allows you to remove for a month a number of units of your choice from your summoning pool? Like paying to make sure you're not pestered by Bartes, Gunthers, Rays, Gen 1 healers, or any units that you're tired of seeing on your summons. Okay, that's an interesting question. I don't know, Fey Pass is so unpopular, I wouldn't be surprised if people would be very mad about this. But personally, like, if it was part of Fey Pass, or like an improved Fey Pass, like let's say it was like $15 a month, but I got this option, I would probably pay for it, because there's so many units I dislike summoning. I don't know if I would really pick 3 or 4 stars. I know that removing 3 and 4 stars would help my summoning rates, right? But like, how many would you get to remove, I guess? For me, I'd want to remove like the bad 5-star pity breaks, right? Like those units that you pick up and you're just mad to see them. Because like, not only did you lose your pity, but you also got a character who's just not great or like useful for fodder. For me, that would be like Asbel or somebody like that, right? I would be so happy to never see another Asbel pity break. I have like 6 copies of him and I never summoned 4. So like stuff like that would be nice. Also like being able to make it so that I didn't summon units I have at +10 already would be cool. If I didn't want their fodder. So that would be also pretty interesting. So I think it would be pretty useful. I don't think they'd ever do that just because it'd probably be a nightmare to program. Yes! Let's go! Okay, awesome. Thank you for bringing the luck. There's Femortis, our first copy. So we just need 1 more Femortis. Plus attack. I'm actually in a weird situation where I don't know how much I can merge Femortis. Because I want to merge him to +10, because, you know, just for the sake of having +10 Femortis. But at the same time, because I use him for summoner duels a lot with like legendary Ellawood, I need to attack, like match. And his attack is so high already, sometimes it's hard to match it. So I have to figure out how much I can actually work with that. Because right now he perfectly matches Altina, which is really nice. So I think he gets +1 attack, which might ruin it. We'll figure that out later, that's not a big deal. But yeah, I think they would never do that just because it would be a programming nightmare. But I would definitely pay for that. I don't think many other people would pay for that other than Wales. But, you know, if they just added it as a feature of Fay Pass, I wouldn't be complaining at all. Okay, we're doing pretty good so far. Got in Guinivere, we got Femortis. We just need 1 more Femortis and 2 Askers, and I'm completely good with that. Okay, let's do... Nope, okay, so let's see this. Okay, the next question is going to be from the Miss NC fan. What is one character who you'd like to get as Choose Your Legends alt, but you don't think will ever win? And what would you be your ideal Choose Your Legends alt for that character to be? Oh, there's so many, to be honest, because I feel like as popular as like a Lincia or like Zelgius is, I don't think they're popular enough to win Choose Your Legends. So I would love to see them win Choose Your Legends, but I do feel like they have like a tiny chance, right? Like I don't know what could happen. Maybe we get like a Tellius remake and then they would possibly become popular enough to win Choose Your Legends. Maybe. A character I think who just doesn't have any chance of winning Choose Your Legends I would love to see is Jafar. Jafar is one of my favorite characters, and I would love to see him get a proper alt. Right? Like we have Winter Jafar. If you don't know how I feel about that, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I would love like an Ascended Jafar, but a Brave Jafar would be really cool. I would love to have a Jafar who actually plays as an assassin. I think that would be so really cool, because he doesn't really play as that. He kind of plays as a ninja, which is kind of just how all daggers play in Fae. But I would love to have like a Jafar who could like be maybe a red sword, who had like slaying and anti-guard, and like a preference special called Assassinate. And it would just be like a damage reduction piercing Luna or something like that, maybe. But the cool thing for Jafar I would like is like when he kills a unit, it would activate like Canto Recall or like Canto Escape, where you could like essentially like teleport out. You could either like teleport back to where you were, like with Canto Recall, or maybe you could teleport to an ally or something like that. I think that'd be really cool, because then it would really like play into the thematics of Jafar being an assassin, right? Going in, killing that target, and then getting out. That would be so cool. I would love that. That's like my dream ult for Jafar. With just good art too, right? I would love some good art for Jafar, because I'm not really the biggest fan of his base art or his resplendent art. I don't think they're bad, but they're just not like amazing in my opinion. But I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks. Like, if you could choose one character for Choose Your Legends and like just get them, who would it be? Because I think everybody has just different options, right? Everybody has those favorite characters that are just not the lords. So I would love to hear what people have to say. I could definitely see like if Joe picked Sharena, that'd be pretty funny. I could definitely see that happening. I don't know if that's his favorite character though. I know he likes Sharena a lot, but I don't know if he likes her that much. Okay. I'm surprised we haven't gotten any red legendaries. Oh, there's a Lear. I was just about to say that. Okay, I'm fine with this. Alir's really good as a unit, and she's also really good as fodder. Yeah, bad IV, that's fine. So we could like fodder her for like ideal, which doesn't really matter, but close call 4 is really good, and speed smoke 4 is really nice as well. I'll probably end up foddering her for somebody. I don't know who yet. But that's probably what's gonna happen. I do like her a lot though. I actually use her quite a bit. So a merge could also be pretty good there. Okay, we are at the spark now. Can we finish off with a big pull right before the spark? Maybe. No, okay. I'm not sure who to pick. Because I feel like picking for Mortis kind of makes sense, because for Mortis, if I get extra from Mortis's, like the fodder's pretty good, right? I get saves. If I pick Asker, and then I get a whole bunch of Askers, like all I get is defense bulwark, which is like kind of, it's good, but it's not like amazing, right? So like you don't really use it on a ton of characters. I'm not really sure. I think I just go for Mortis here, I think. Or do I balance it with Asker? It's so hard because I have no idea what I'm going to get, right? There's Null. Okay. Okay, let's back out. Let's go to the Spark. Also pick Joffrey, which sounds weird, but he's the only Radiant Dawn character I'm missing. So that's kind of tempting. I'm not going to do that, but I would really like to get one copy of Joffrey, but maybe he'll just like pity break me eventually. Some other good options, obviously, are Veronica and Yuri. They're really good. But I think I just go with Mortis. I don't know. Am I gonna get a Mortis right after this and be mad at myself for not getting Asker? It's so hard to say because there's just no way to know. Yeah, let's go with Mortis. Oh, I'm so scared. I'm scared I'm gonna get another one and then not get any Askers. But I'm really happy to have my Demon Boy, my Demon King fully maxed out. It's kind of crazy that you think like if he didn't win A Hero Rises, this would be his first rerun. That's kind of insane when you think about it. Let's jump back in. Oh, there is one other thing I wanted to talk about I completely forgot about, and that is some of the reruns. We do have the official announcements for some of the reruns. We have Hell coming back in September, which typically no one cares about, but that does mean that she probably will be getting her remix and her refine in September, so that's something to look forward to. Maybe she'll get something actually good. Maybe she'll get Guard Bearing Forest fodder, and then I can just kill a whole bunch of Hells. I'd be very happy with that. We also have Xander coming back in October, but in November is the interesting thing, because we have Veronica and Yuri rerunning again together. But if you actually go in here and get a good amount of copies here, but don't finish Veronica and Yuri, you can come back in November and finish them there. So that's actually really cool. Sometimes it's nice when the same units share, just because like if you're trying to go for a double merge project, you can actually finish it, right? So I think that's cool. We also have Guinevere and Femortis sharing again in November. That's part of the reason why I picked Femortis as well, just because I don't really want to summon more if Guinevere is there to share with him. I don't really have any more interest in getting more copies than her. And then also in green, we have Haether and Sather sharing in green. So that's a pretty good pool because you can get merges for 2 different astromythics. So you can get a really strong mythic core there. The only big downside, in my opinion, will be that they're both green mages, which is kind of suck. But they do pretty different things, so, you know, it's not the biggest deal. There's Matthew. I think I'm going to stop pulling reds. We haven't had any luck with red tonight, so I'm just going to be like, I'm only going to pull if there's nothing else available. Okay, let's keep the questions going. Questions were definitely bringing some luck. This next one's going to be from Kaiju. Okay, I got it, like a kaiju. Okay, what are some Gen 1 and 2 units that new players could build up on a modest budget to fulfill a useful niche? I.e., I still love my base Null C Micaiah for easy clears against Legendary Veronica and Cavlines and Aether offense. That's an interesting question. I'm not really sure. There are definitely units you can build that do perform really well. Like Carla actually is still a really good god sword if you wanted to like use an OG. But personally, I have to say like I use like some weird old units. And one of the weirdest ones I would say is Merrick. I use base Merrick. And the reason why I use base Merrick is because he's effective against flyers. And he has just enough bulk to survive a hit from like Legendary Azura or like Duo Peony. I don't know about the other, like those kind of like normal Peony, Plumeria, right? And because he has effective against flying, he one-shots them back. But like he takes enough damage where he always baits them, right? They always attack him because of the 5 damage rule. And so I like using Merrick for that. It's very, very weird, but like I just discovered that he was good in that small niche. And so I use Merrick as like an arena assault unit essentially to fulfill that role. I'm sure there's lots of other options as well, especially because of rearmed weapons, right? Rearmed weapons really allow you to take those Gen 1 and Gen 2 units and really make them very powerful. I think Arcane Lewin is like ridiculously good. Like I was actually like messing around with somebody's Legendary Dimitri with Arcane Lewin, and it's really, really strong. No! Oh. Well, I chose wrong. I should have sparked Asker. Oh man, that sucks. That sucks so much. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, he still has good fodder, but like, damn, that sucks. I should have got Asker. Ouch. I knew that could happen, right? That's the problem with sparking. I hate that you have to spark when you hit 40. I think there's a way to not do it. Like there's some way to like disconnect your account or something. I don't know. I don't want to like give people bad ideas and then it like messes up their account. I've seen people do it before in the past. I just don't know how to do it. But I really wish I would have done that because I could have picked him at the end, which would have been way, way, way better, right? Now we're pretty much like in the hole. We need 2 Askers still, and who knows what we'll get. I don't know how hard I'm going to go here either. I might do another summoning session later. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's do another question, see if another question can bring some luck. Asker luck in particular. I should have got like a question about Asker. That would have been good. Or like Emblem. That would have been awesome. Anyway, so our next question is going to be from Just Zeke. I'm not sure if this hasn't been asked before, but are you a fan of Persona games? And if so, which game is your favorite? I do have a second question as well. What is your favorite anime character? For me, question 1 is Persona 5 R. I don't know. I've heard of Persona 5 R, but I don't know what it stands for. Is it like Royale, I think, maybe? And the second question is, for them, Natsu from Fairy Tail is their favorite anime character. So I bought Persona 5. I put it in my PS4. I played it for like maybe 5 minutes, and I was so tired from work I fell asleep. And then I never played it again. So I technically own it. I have it, but I have not played it. My friends have played it, and they're very, very into it. One of my friends has played it like 3 times or something like that. Like, he's really into it. So I know it's a good game. I have so many games to play. I haven't gotten really around to it. I know it's like, I think it has like a dating sim aspect to it too. So I'm like not super big on that, but I've heard it's well done. So I'm sure it would be fun. When it comes to anime, picking one character is really, really difficult because I've watched a lot of anime in my my time. I don't know. I think my anime list is like 400 or 500 anime, something stupid like that. I don't really watch anime. Oh my god, it's Guinevere. Oh, this is the worst timeline. Everybody but Asker showing up. Okay. I mean, it's good. We still got, you know, a 5-star relatively early. Bad IV again. Somehow we got another plus HP. I don't know if I merge her or if I just use her for null C disrupt fodder. I think I don't know. Like, I always feel bad foddering legendaries. But anyway, back to the anime question. So I've seen a lot of anime. It's really difficult to choose just one character who's my favorite. So what I'll do is I'll just talk about some of my favorites, I guess. Like, I'm a very big fan of One Piece, if you didn't know. If you haven't been watching for the channel for very long, maybe you don't know that. But if you have, you probably heard me talk about it before. And my favorite characters in One Piece are Luffy and Zoro. So those are definitely 2 of my favorite characters in anime. Also, Onizuka. If you have not seen Great Teacher Onizuka, Onizuka is an absolutely fantastic character. Love Onizuka. He's absolutely hilarious. He does very bad things that would not be culturally acceptable nowadays. That anime came out in like 2000 or something like that. But overall, he has like a heart of gold. You're kidding me right now. I should have picked Asker. Oh, it's punishing me. It's punishing me so hard right now. I can't believe this. Oh my god. Like, the rate of 5 stars is insane. I will definitely say that. But just knowing that I could only be 1 Asker away right now hurts. It definitely hurts. Damn. But yeah, Onizuka, Zoro, Luffy. I love Lelouch from Code Geass. Very, very big character. But I would say, I don't know if he's maybe, it's hard to say. My favorite anime character, I guess, if we're just talking about anime and not manga, I guess it would be like Yang Wenli, which I'm sure that none of you have heard of. because almost no one has seen this anime. Very, very, very few people have watched it. It's from 1988, which I'm sure is older than a majority of people watching this video. It's actually older than me, so to be fair. It's Legend of the Galactic Heroes, and Legend of the Galactic Heroes is my favorite anime ever, not including manga, right? Just anime. It's my favorite anime. It's so absolutely fantastic. It's 110 episodes, I think, or around there, and it is a space opera, not like singing opera, like an epic, right? And it is so fantastically good. And Yang Wenli is a ridiculously well-written character. He is so human and so flawed, but also has so many good aspects to him. He just feels very realistic, and he's just a god tier character. He's like probably one of the best protagonists ever written in an anime, and I just love him to death. So I guess I'll go with Yang Wenli overall, but like definitely those other characters are also my big favorites. So actually just depends on what I'm watching at the moment. But if you do watch anime, I'd love to hear your taste, what you were watching. If you're like more of an old school anime fan like I am, or if you're more of like a new anime enjoyer, like maybe you got in with like, Demon Slayer. I know a lot of people start watching anime with that, or like Attack on Titan, or, whatever era of anime you start watching. I'd love to hear about it because, anime is always really fun to talk about. Even though I don't watch that much anime nowadays, I typically just read manga because I don't really have time to, sit there and watch a 30-minute episode, well, like 23-minute episode. But I can read manga really fast because I'm a pretty fast reader. So that's what I typically choose to do nowadays. There's another Etier. Can we please get an Asker? I don't know how much more I want to do because I kind of want to. I might just come back to this. I think we'll go into the next 5-star. Okay, let's do another question. This is going to be from Enemy SSB. Hey Oblivion, what do you think is the best and worst movement weapon type combo in the game? What are some ways do you think IS can make that unit type more viable? Best of luck on the summons. Thank you. So this is a very interesting question because you're trying to think of like all the different combinations, and I think my answer would be staff armors. And the reason for that is that staff armors just don't fulfill any role like exceptionally well, right? Like typically what you want is like a staff cav, because then they can be very threatening, right? They have high range, they can do like flash effects, they can do, with like a leash you can do a lot of damage as well. So they have that. Or you can want to go infantry, because then you can have like times pulse, so you can actually take advantage of the healer specials and actually do some stuff there. And even flyers, when it comes to healers, can run like guidance 4 and be really good support units. When it comes to armors, they're kind of like in a weird spot where they really don't have a great role they can fulfill. You can try to do like a save, right? You can do like Valentine's Lissa as a save unit, but the problem with that is like you don't have like defensive specials, right? And you don't have like the best defensive options as a staff unit. I definitely think like they're kind of in the most awkward situation when it comes to movement type and weapon combos. I think the thing that they could do to help them out is probably just give them more like options for defensive things, or even like you need like a arcane staff is what you really need, right? That's another Etier. You really need arcane staff because you need slaying. I think with slaying, their like potential to do more powerful things becomes much more rampant. But without it, it's like really rough because like the inheritable staffs aren't the best. Even like Summer Lara shells, it's good, but like it's still not like top tier. It's not like a preference power level of staffs. So I think that could help them for sure. If there's another movement type weapon combo, I think that really sucks. It's defensive cavs. So like any cav who wants to like be a defensive unit or like an omni tank, right? As a cav, I think you typically suck. Like I think the best example of this is Legendary Selef. He's like one of the worst units in the game in my opinion. He's so bad. He's just very not set up to do well in that role. And that's kind of why I'm down on Xander as well, because Xander kind of wants to do that role. He can also do, Gale Force or like more offensive stuff because he's fast. But still, like that defensive role as a cab just doesn't work very well. You're kidding me right now. Everything. Mortis, I love you, bro. But you literally didn't show up during any of my Hero Rises summons. And then now you show up non-stop after I picked you for the Spark. Why didn't I pick Asker? No. Oh man, this is so rough. I don't know if should I stop? I should probably stop, but I kind of want to keep going. I really want to finish Asker here. Even though, like, because Asker comes back in December. Oof. That's such a long time away. That's like 5 months. Ugh, we're like 300 orbs in. Can I get one Asker, please? Okay, this is a good circle. Maybe we get 2 Askers here. I can leave. But yeah, I don't know. My luck has been all kinds of weird tonight. Where's Nana? Love Nana. Okay, let's do one more question. I think I will stop pretty soon. I keep saying that though, so no one probably believes me. And considering my track record, there's good evidence not to believe me. This one's gonna be from Brave Ephraim 799. Do you think legendaries have fallen off in value in binding worlds since they now appear in hollow forms? Have you used an Otherworld bond yet? What did you pick up? So this is an interesting topic because I do think overall legendaries have gone down in value drastically. Not that they're bad units, they're actually very, very, very good units on the most part. If you look at the past like 6 legendaries other than Guinevere, they're all very meta relevant, which is really cool. But when it comes to the value of them, like the merge value, I think that it's definitely gone down because nowadays in Arena, all you really need is like maybe 1 legendary at plus 10 and then the bonus legendary for that month. So whoever the new legendary is, like for example, this month is Guinevere, and you can stay in tier 21 pretty easy. It's not too bad now. It's definitely much more accessible than it used to be. So I feel like you don't really need to merge up legendaries to plus 10 nearly as much as you had to. So I definitely think their value has gone down. I do think this has been further compounded by them being added to hollow forms. But the thing is with hollow forms is that you're getting older legendaries, so they're not really like the top tier in scoring. So that is something to consider. But even so, just being able to get a legendary with like a full build is really, really powerful. Like for example, with legendary Olm, I just invested like a ton into my Olm, right? I like killed a Yuri, I killed like rearmed Ophelia, I did a whole bunch of stuff to get that kit for him. It was very, very expensive. And then he came into hollow form, so you get all that for 1 Forma Soul, which is like ridiculous value. So I definitely think they have gone down in value a little bit, at least the older legendaries have. But they've also just been more accessible now, right? Like it's much more easy to merge up old legendaries thanks to the remix banners and hollow forms and binding worlds, right? That's 3 different sources of ways to get premium skills for your legendary and merges. So while I do think the value maybe has gone down a bit, I think it's overall for the better as it made it so that more people can get access to these legendaries and do better in Arena with them, or even just have more powerful units, right? Like everybody can have a very good Olm now, which is scary because he's one of the best nukes in the game, like absolutely. So I think overall it's a big positive. Even though like maybe people like me who have already, spent the orbs to get him that premium kit, it might feel a little bit bad. For everybody else, it's a big win, which is always good, right? That's typically what I want. Me losing a little bit the value for everybody else to like get really good value is okay with me, especially on an older unit because it makes people like Olm more, which makes me happy. Now, if we could get an Ike who was good, that would be great. Like if we could get, I don't know, somebody was like made a comment about having Legendary Ike version 2, and I was like, you know what, I'd take it. I wouldn't mind. I don't think they'll ever do that, and I think a lot of people get mad, but I would not be one of them. I'd be pretty happy because Radiant Dawn Ike is my favorite character. So, okay, this is a good circle. Our pity's getting so high. Ugh. Oh man, I can't believe we got like so many from Mortises and not a single Asker. Oh man, it's so rough. Just like give me 1 Asker. 1 Asker, please. Oh, it's Rebecca. Baby Rebecca is so good. I like on my nuke tier list, I put her pretty high because like she actually performed so well. People got mad at me, like really, like I got so much hate for that. But she, like, people underestimate her. Like, she rips really hard. Like, go, I don't know, make friends with somebody who has a +10 Rebecca like I have, and go do some sims with her. Like, let her go fight some of your tanks. She does damage. It's kind of crazy how much, like, true damage she can stack, and how easy she has access to Deadeye. Like, good unit. Definitely good unit. Definitely one of the better 4-star demotes we've ever had. More Saizo, or Kaze. Double Kaze. Okay, we're at our last 100 orbs. Oh man. Oh man, we're at 9.5% too. I mean, our luck overall has been good. Just not the luck I wanted, right? Especially because it hurts so bad to know I could have had a spark for Asker. That's what I get for trying to be smart and think things through. Should just pick Asker because I don't know. Oh man. Also, summoning at like 1 a.m. is usually not the best idea. Anyway, let's do one more question while we're doing this. This one's going to be from RJDK24. And they want to know, if Fire Emblem had one season of anime, it had to be one season and done, what characters would you show during the season? It can even be a potential one Fire Emblem episode per game. Or per episode, one Fire Emblem game per episode. Maybe how the old Pokemon shorts Nintendo did that were 5 episodes long. I think it's really difficult to do this, right? Because you need to pick a Fire Emblem. Personally, the way I would do it is try to get one season of one game, and it would need to be like complete. So I think that kind of like already invalidates some Fire Emblems because they're too long. Like, you can't really do Tellius in one season. That would just not work. You can do 3 houses in one season, really. I don't think. Trying to combine all the routes would be really hard as well. Fire Emblem 1 maybe, but then you're like probably missing out on Fire Emblem 3, which is like really the end of that story, so that's kind of rough. So I think like the best option would probably be, same with Genealogy and Thrasher, you can't do that either. So probably like Fire Emblem 2, right? You could do like Echoes, maybe not though, because there's a split route. Oh, this is hard. I'm trying to think of Fire Emblem actually you can do. You definitely can't do a Leeb, right? Because it's FE6 and FE7. Fates has like 3 routes. So maybe you do Awakening, or maybe you do Sacred Stones. One of those two probably, because they're very like comprehensive stories that you could tell in one season. And with Awakening, you could even cut like some sections of it possibly to make it shorter and fit into the one season, right, story. With Sacred Stones, you could really easily tell that story in one season probably. You don't really need to do the split route thing with Erica and Ephraim. You could just kind of like tell their stories at the same time probably, and it'd be fine. So I think that'd be cool. Yeah, I probably would do, personally I like Sacred Stones more than Awakening, so I'd go with Sacred Stones. But I could see them going to Awakening just because it's definitely more popular and it's more recent. So there's a lot more fans of Awakening than there is for Sacred Stones, unfortunately. We are at 10% pity. Maybe I should have definitely stopped. I can't believe I'm about to hit 500 orbs on this banner with no Asker. This is the danger of summoning on these kind of banners, unfortunately. Even with Fey Pass. What I would really love for them to do, and this is me being a whale, but I would really love if they just like gave out a single spark to everybody on Legendary and Mythic banners, and then people who have Fey Pass get 2 sparks. That would be really, really nice. I understand why they don't do that, because the value of just 1 spark is typically enough to bait people, right, to buy Fey Pass. But man, I would like that. That would definitely save me a lot of heartache summoning on these banners. Because going 500 orbs and not getting a single copy of the character you're going for is pretty rough. Though to be fair, if you were only going for 1 character, you could definitely just spark them if you have Fey Pass. But if you don't have Fey Pass, then you're kind of stuck in the same boat I would be right now. Can we break the pity, please? Please. I'll stop, I promise. I'll actually stop this time because I won't have any more orbs. It's the best way to make you stop summoning. No more orbs. Come on, Asker. I really, really would like to not have to use Air and Dagger every season. Being able to swap one of them out for Asker would be very, very nice, especially on Gale Force teams. Like, swapping out Air so she's just not a smite bot, and having Asker who actually helps with cooldown and Gale Forces himself would be really, really, really nice. I would love that. Leon. Go away. Sorry, but go away. We just need an Asker. We need double Asker, which is very, very, very unlikely at this point. But you never know, right? Maybe Asker shows up and you know, brings himself along the way. That would be amazing. Nope, it's Riss. Oh man. Okay, let's do one more question. I think we have time for it. This one's gonna be from DCXXX403. If you could design this year's Choose Your Legends banner, what weapon movement types would the units be? That's a difficult one. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like the biggest fan of this Choose Your Legends banner. I'm still salty Felix lost. But when it comes to characters, I think like maybe you do Omega Yato female Corrin. That could work for sure. Guinivere is such a wild card because she just, you know, isn't even done with her own story yet. Maybe you just make her a different color mage, right? Because you already have like colorless Guinivere, and then like there's Haether who's green, and like Sather who's green. So maybe you do like a red mage, maybe? I don't know. When it comes to Soren, Soren's already had so many different colors of the mage. So maybe you just complete the mage color triangle or whatever, right? Because we have colorless Soren, green Soren, and blue Soren. So maybe you make red Soren, but then you can't have another, I don't know. Because then you can't have Omega Yato Corrin. Because I'm not really sure, like, what other weapon could you really give Sword? I mean, you could give him, like, Ragnall, I guess, or something like that, but that would just make no sense, to be honest, at all. Like, I can't even imagine Soren trying to carry Ragnall. He would, like, break his arms. So, maybe you give him, like, Guragaunt, like, and do, like, an Ashnard thing. Or maybe you make him, like, a dragon. That would be interesting. I don't think that would be very accurate, but I would take it. Oh my god, we're at 11%. We're actually gonna, like, run out of orbs and not hit a 5-star. Oh god, really? Oh man. Faye. But yeah, and then for male Robin, see the problem is like they all want red. Oh my god, we're out of orbs. They all want to kind of be like Swordians, like, right? Like everybody wants 11 Swordy Robin, but then you have Omega Yato Corrin, and then you have, you know, it's like everybody wants to be the red unit. This CYL, which doesn't really work. So I don't really know what I would do. I think it'd be a bit. I'm very interested to see what they do. I hope they don't take a boring route that they did with like CYL 4, and they really kind of like take some like cool risk and make some really cool like art. I would definitely like to see like, I don't know, Soren wearing like some really spoilerish armor, essentially. Okay, we picked up one of the $5 packs or $6 packs or whatever, just so we can get this last orb, but we're done after this. Like, overall, like, I got a lot of 5 stars, but I just really wish that some of them were Asker. Okay, that's it. We're done. That is going to be the summoning session. So, overall, I think we definitely got a lot of 5 stars. Just didn't hit the exact goal, and we also definitely missparked, which feels really, really bad. But you know, it is what it is. I'm gonna probably come back in here with some more orbs eventually to try to finish Asker, just because I really want to get him done with. But honestly, having him share some words hurts now pretty bad, because I don't really need that many copies of Farsave. Either way, overall, pretty good summoning session, and I'd love to hear from you how your summoning session went, if you guys did pull on this banner, and if you did pull on this banner, who were you going for? Were you going all colorless like I was, trying to get those merges for Asker and Fu Mortis, or maybe you're going for red, because the red pool is really, really good as well. Either way, I'd love to hear about it, so make sure to drop a comment down below letting me know. And as always, I'd love to thank all my members for all their constant support. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. This has been Oblivion. I'll catch you all later.